Good afternoon. I'd like to thank everyone for being here. We were able to sign today 17 recruits in our first recruiting class here in about a 2.5-week period of time. It was a 100% team effort without a doubt. And please, if I forget to thank you, there was so many people involved with this process, but I do have a few thanks. First off, to our administration, our athletic administration. I thought Bob and Kit did a wonderful job letting us hire a staff so quickly, and we were able to get on the recruiting trail immediately. Second, I thought our faculty reps that helped us on the campus visits were outstanding. They did a great job, and they were a huge influence on helping us attract these great student athletes that we were able to obtain today. Third, the business people in the community. In 2.5 weeks, we asked to go into restaurants and ask for large parties. We asked to get hotel rooms, and they were able to accommodate us in a first-class manner, and it really helped in the recruiting process over such a short period of time. To our players, I thought our players over these last 2 recruiting weekends did a wonderful job hosting the recruits. They were able to help us sign these 17 kids. They did a great job. Special thanks, without a doubt. This whole process would never have been able to take place without Carl Polini. I thought Carl did a wonderful job establishing the foundation of what we wanted to recruit here. He was able to establish those relationships in the 5 weeks as being the head coach, and we were able to come in and hit the ground running. Carl did a wonderful job, and I'm so thankful for all the hard work that he put in over these last really 7.5 weeks to help establish this class. Dan Pfeiffer did a wonderful job. Being the new recruiting coordinator in 2.5 weeks, that's a challenge. Being able to set up all the official visits, get the hotel rooms, be able to set up the official visits, that's a challenge, and I thought he did a wonderful job. Last but not least, and I know I forgot a bunch of people that I know I should have thanked, but our staff. Our staff over the last 2.5 weeks were able to establish relationships that normally take 2 years to establish to obtain a recruiting class. If you really evaluate and look what we've done over the last 2.5 weeks in terms of being able to go into people's houses, being able to walk out and they trust you, that says a lot. We've got a great character staff here, we've got great people, and we were able to do some really neat things in the last 2.5 weeks to be able to secure this class. Super excited about it. We've got a lot of work to still go, but it was a good start. Any questions?
You talked a lot about having Ohio kids, and you want to tap into the Ohio talent, and you got 8 of them. Are we just scratching the surface here with Ohio guys?
No doubt. We said whenever we took this job that the emphasis would be on recruiting the state of Ohio. If you really evaluate when Bowling Green has won championships, you look at the roster, and anywhere between 65% and 75% of the kids come from the state of Ohio. We're going to do a great job as soon as we get back here in January. Every single guy on the road will be in the state of Ohio for at least 2 straight weeks. We're going to attack the state of Ohio. We've got great relationships in this state. In the 2.5 weeks that we were on the road, we were able to walk into high schools, and the Ohio high school coaches want to help Bowling Green. And I'm really fired up to be able to work with those guys. They're my peers. A lot of those guys in the Ohio high school circuit are mentors to me. And I'm really, really fired up to be able to go into their school, recruit their kids, and obviously get them here, develop them, and make Bowling Green a championship place.
No quarterbacks, no running backs in this portion of the class. Is that something that's going to be addressed in the next 6-7 weeks?
Well, we'll see. We've got 4 scholarships left. We said that whenever we took this job that we were going to make sure that we were, number one, going to bring in quality football players with quality character. It's amazing whenever you sit down with the 17 guys that we've signed, their parents, their guardians, they're all like-minded people. They're fantastic character people. They're good football players, and we were going to make sure that we filled those slots with the standards that we expect here at Bowling Green.
The early signing period makes things pretty difficult on the new staff. How crazy did this get here the past couple of weeks?
Just crazy. Yeah, a lot of sleepless days, to say the least. But just like I said, we've got a veteran staff here. We've got a staff that has walked the walk, talked the talk. They're excellent. And just like I said, the foundation that Carl was able to build, along with the experienced staff that we have, we were able to do a lot of things in 2.5 weeks that most people, just like I said, it takes 1.5 to 2 years to establish. So I'm very proud of them. They worked really hard, and I keep going back to Carl. I think that was a huge deal of why we had some success today.
Obviously pretty defensive heavy so far. I mean, do you feel like that was obviously a priority at this point?
Yeah, there's always needs and there's always numbers of kids leaving your program, and you need to fulfill those numbers. This was an emphasis on the defense. There's a couple slots opened for some offensive slots that we'll see if we're going to fill in the second half of the recruiting cycle. If not, if we don't feel like we're ready to extend those offers, we won't. The emphasis is going to be on bringing quality football players here with great character and that are going to be successful in the classroom. It's amazing when you look at the APR and you look at all the components that make up this recruiting world. It all comes back to, can he play, does he got great character, and can he be successful in the classroom? And if there's one of those three pieces that are missing, we're going to pass on the guy.
Joey Carroll seems to be somebody who meets those three criteria. Is the fact that he was committed to that other school in Northwest Ohio make it a doubly sweet recruit for you?
I love Joey. It was my first home visit at Bowling Green. It was great. It was neat to go in, and he was a position of need, obviously. And to be able to establish a relationship over such a short period of time was awesome. I walked out of his house, and he called me and says, "I'm committing." And I went, "What?" I thought this was, I mean, that was a shocker. So I said, this is going to be easy recruiting to Bowling Green after that first home visit. But they've got such a great family. He's such a good football player, and I'll never forget Joey Carroll because that was my first home visit, so that was pretty neat.
Tyrone and Brock were two kids that were not at a loss for places to go. How did those two recruitments kind of come together this week?
Tyrone, that relationship with his high school coach goes back years. Helped recruit Ron Bellamy to my school, coached him at my school, and then obviously in the NFL was able to coach him in the NFL. We had great relationships with the high school coach. The high school coach helped us there, and we got a really good wide receiver out of West Bloomfield. Going to Brock,
Yeah.
love him, love him. I thought Jake and Brian Van Gorder did a wonderful job establishing relationships with him. We staff recruited him. We recruited him hard. He had a lot of action in the game. And it goes back to, just like I said, we were over 2.5 weeks able, with that one in particular, to really establish some really trust and a great relationship in 2.5 weeks. I think he's going to be an outstanding football player. He's got captain-like characteristics, and we'll all be very thankful that we were able to obtain Brock.
What is today like for you and your staff with such a short window? Is it excitement, relief? How has today been for your guys?
You know what? It was business as usual. We've got professionals here. Just like I said, this isn't their first rodeo. Some of them have been coaching longer than I've been alive, it feels like. But that's the way we wanted it. We wanted to be around, and I wanted to be able to set myself up with people that are better than me. I think that our staff is fantastic. They're great human beings, but they're professionals at what they do. They're very good at what they do. And the thing that I'm so fired up about is we're going to be able to bring a Bowling Green kid in here, a high school kid, and we're going to be able to develop them on and off the field like no other, and it all stems back to our staff. I think they're terrific.
You mentioned you had 4 scholarships left. Do you expect more signings in the next couple of days?
Just like I said, if it fits our need and it fits the things that we're looking for in a student athlete, yes. There's some other action that is going on in terms of grad transfers and what have not, but we're going to be very selective of who we bring into the program. We thought that we were extremely selective on the 17 young men that we were able to bring in. And just like I said, the neat thing about this was that there are so many like-minded young men in this class, and I think that's really important. We're able, right off the get-go, you can tell we're going to be able to establish a disciplined, high-character class that we were able to sign. And they're like-minded, their parents are fantastic, and at the end of the day, I think this will be a great foundation for our program.
As much as you have to recruit these 17 new kids, how much do you have to recruit the guys that are already in the locker room? Anytime you have a coaching change, there's always a little bit of roster turnover. How's that process?
Yeah, it's been from day one. The minute that we were able to take this job, we were able to meet with some guys, and obviously the month of January with the new change in the academic calendar has been a challenge. I don't like that our players are gone till the 27th. I wish that I could get off an airplane on January 1st and then them to be back here January 8th, but we're going to stay in constant contact with them. It's going to be a month that we're going to be able to establish somewhat of a relationship with their families. It's going to be important that we're on the phone a little bit more. I wish we could do it in face-to-face, but it is what it is because of the academic calendar. But when we get back here when they get back here on January 27th, it's going to be 100% of our focus is going to be all about our kids. And we've got some work to do in some areas, and we're excited to get going with our guys.
I think Jake Rogers mentioned he was going to enroll early. Do you have any other guys that you know will be here in January?
Jake is the one off the top of my head. There might be one other student athlete, but again, I've got 1,000 things going. Jake, I know definitely because I talked to him about it this morning.
So how valuable was it? How much of a role did having such a short time before the recruiting period put together?
Excuse me, Joey is also. Okay. Joey is also. That's two that off the top of my head. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you just how much of a role did the experience of the staff have as far as throwing this thing together in such a short time?
They're, just like I said, Carl started it, and then obviously bringing in the guys that we brought in. Even the young guys on our staff, they've walked the walk. They've been at programs that recruiting is at the highest of premium. You look at what Coach Adazio's done there at Boston College, being at a place where maybe a kid has 1 or 2 scholar offership and he's going to have 8 NFL guys this year. Obviously with Coach Meyer, we know what he's done in recruiting. So these young guys have come from a very, very, very types of programs that recruiting is the highest of priority. So the young guys were able to help just as much. I don't want to give all the credit to our vets, but our vets are the guys that are going to establish the culture on our team. They've walked the walk. There's, in my opinion, 4 or 5 head coaches on our staff, and for us to have those type of people and that type of leadership, obviously it's no shock that we were able to do a fairly good job in a short amount of time.
You mentioned the word coach captains of our high school teams, and that's something we've heard from previous coaching staffs. Talk a little bit about when you're recruiting character and what role that plays in these young men, not just athletic ability, but high quality, high character people.
It's number one. We've all been at places where we've won with high character people. If you look at any championship organization, any championship business, it all starts with the type of people. And obviously they have to have ability. But whenever you assemble yourself with a bunch of really, really good football players with low character, eventually they're going to disappoint you. And that's not what we want to have here. Are we going to be perfect evaluators? No. Or is our kids going to be perfect? No. They're 18 to 22-year-old guys. But we're looking to have a culture, and establish a culture and a foundation that's built on respect, where it's built on family, and it all starts with the type of people you're bringing in. So any place that I've been that we've really been super successful for a long period of time, it's all about great people with ability, and that's what we're going to try to do.
We've heard from previous coaches as well that BTSU is an easy place to recruit. You think it's easy to recruit you? Is that what you found in the time you've been here as well?
You know what? It's got such great tradition here. Obviously, being from the state of Ohio, when I was recruited, I think my second recruiting letter was from Bowling Green, and I'll never forget it. And I did my research, and you found out that it's a place that has always won and has always had great tradition. And then obviously the relationship with people that have went to Bowling Green, including the #1 boss in my family, my wife. She says the academics are off the chart. And being here such a short period of time, I thought it was remarkable that how awesome the faculty are and how involved they are, even with our football team, and how they handled recruiting was top notch. They really were a big factor and a big piece on influencing these guys to come to school here. So my hats are off to them.
Season tickets went on sale today. How about a message to the fans that are thinking about
Buy them. No, we're going to play a really cool brand of football here, and it's going to be all based on team, team, team. The whole objective of our program is that we want to play complementary football. We want the offense and the defense and the special teams to all be tied as one. Carl and I talked about that was probably the biggest thing that connected us besides our ties with who we knew was playing complementary football is imperative. You know, stats are great, scoring's great, stopping people on defense is great, but all three phases have really got to work together in order to win. I've been at places where the defense has been great, and the offense isn't playing into the hands of the defense, and we haven't won. Then I've been at places that they played such into each other's hands, and then here comes the special teams to complement it, and that's about it. That's how you win. And to sit and say that scoring 60 points a game and putting the defense out there in bad situations, we don't want to do that. We want to play really good complementary football, and we want to teach our kids this. You know, our biggest message to our kids is that we got to be disciplined, we got to have character, and most importantly, selfless. We got to become selfless. Everything's got to be about Bowling Green winning.
You look at several other MAC programs, they have the challenge of juggling this day while preparing for a bowl game. Is that a challenge you look forward to?
I absolutely do. That's a good problem. We'd love to handle that every year. So.
What's your schedule like over the next couple of weeks with the bowl game, and how do you find balance in one job versus another?
I'm concerned right now a little bit. And most of the time, I'm a very high prepped individual, and balancing both has been a challenge. Obviously, the number one objective was designing a great class. Now, I got to go back to Boston College and put on another hat fast. And most of the time, just like I said, when we prep for a bowl game here at Bowling Green, I can promise you that we're going to be really prepped for that bowl game. I mean, it's the process on how to do it. I've learned through a lot of really, really good football coaches, and I feel behind a little bit on my other job. But the number one objective is all about Bowling Green. And Steve Adazio has been great. He said, "Scott, listen, you do everything in your power to make sure that that program has a great recruiting class, and you hire quality people." So he's been ridiculous with it. And now it's time to try to help Boston College find a way to win a game. And I owe it to that staff. I owe it to those kids to give it my all for the few days. And as soon as that game's over, I'll be pounding on that computer and pounding on that phone to get going on that 2020 class. And then obviously I'll be here on January 1st ready to get ready to make a run at this.